beautiful earth angels, soul tribe, collective, light warriors. Welcome back to another reading. I feel like this deck has been it's been whispering to me, you guys. From the shelf, it's like, Lauren, I have a message for the collective. So we're going to be using this deck to get a message for you guys. I actually can't remember what this is called, so we'll just get into it. Okay, a message for these beautiful, conscious collective that is tuning in right now from you, Spirit, which is you guys, your higher self, the universe, your future self, your past self. Yeah, this could definitely be a message coming through already from your future and past self, which is interesting because it's kind of the same or similar thing in a way if we're thinking about it as in time doesn't exist. We're thinking about this in a non-linear type of way. I feel like this is, in a way, your higher self, is the self that embodies all versions of you, past, present, and future, all at once. It's you in your entirety, all versions. So let's see what they have to say. Stars, you can manifest your every wish. Wow. Well, this is coming through with Hierophant energy, you guys. It's this kind of like these two friends having a conversation, and you notice that there is no ceiling. The ceiling is space, and they're kind of looking up to the stars. The thoughts that come to mind is we create our own limits. We set our limits. So reach as high as you desire. Reach for the stars. You know, we don't have to set goals that are at a ceiling. We can actually say, hold on, this ceiling doesn't even exist. Let me just get rid of that and reach for the stars. So you guys, this is about dreams and your future self reminding you that, or I say future self, your higher self reminding you that to keep on holding hope, right? The star card, keep on holding hope. The star card's all about hope. It's Aquarius energy. It's about the dreamers, the believers, you know, the shooting for the stars, like we keep saying. But this is like you bring a lot of inspiration to other people, maybe just about the dreams that you talk about or the way that you talk about life, even things that you haven't started yet or things that you plan to do. This is like people are on the edge of their seats. Like this girl here is fully invested in listening to this girl. She's getting lost in her dream with her, and she's looking up to the stars, kind of like getting lost in the beauty of all that could be. So this is very much like this weird energy of, wow, this is really weird actually. This is an energy of like flashing back. How this is coming through is like the higher self I'm channeling for you guys is actually a future version of self who through this energy is flashing back to the times where they didn't quite know like what it was, or they did know what they were going for. They had big dreams, right, in this past version of yourself, which could be your current self. I really hope this isn't too confusing. Because it's kind of trippy in the mind, to be honest with you. This is like a future self flashing back to a memory of them kind of speaking about their hopes, their dreams, and tapping into this energy of unknown. Like everything was so unwritten, okay? And this is the energy of reflection from past the time of being written. So when we're little, we kind of think, you know, when I grow up and when I do this, and then it gets to, you know, when I'm a teenager, and then we live that phase and we reflect back to like that little, I said girl, but you know, this is a general reading. It doesn't matter what gender. When you're a little boy, little girl, little starseed, little being, little light warrior, this is like the space of uncreatedness is the most beautiful space. Wow, this is a stunning message. So the space of unknown is the most magical because once you've lived it, it can only really be in one timeline. Whereas when we're in the beforehand, we can perceive and tap into so many different timelines, right? Like when you're younger, you can tap into so many different avenues that you could grow up to be. It could be so many different things. There's just so much potential, right? But then once we live through that phase, we won't ultimately fulfill all of that, all of those paths, all of those dreams, all of those timelines. And that's okay too. So it's like actually the time before we become is always the most magical, because we hold the energy of the entirety of everything. I feel like I'm not doing this message justice by explaining, you guys. This is like if you are getting a mystery present, right? And actually the fact of the waiting for it to find out what it is the best part of the journey. The becoming is the best part of the journey, because while we're in that phase, we can get excited. We can be like, oh my God, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. So many different timelines, so many different things it could be, so many different versions we could be. And then you get the present of the mystery box. This is like Schrodinger's cat in the box as well. So it's like in the box is unlimited potential. Every single timeline exists in the unknown. And it's like we tap into that. Before you get your surprise mystery box, before we open that box, it is everything inside it all at once. But as soon as we open that box, it has to condense down to one thing, one version, one outcome, right? And then it's like, it's still beautiful, it's still special, but it's not the same energy to tap into after that. And I think this is about holding on and savoring to the energy of all the unknown that is still in front of you, because the rest of your life is your mystery box. And in that mystery box, it hasn't been lived yet. It hasn't been opened yet. And when we live it, we open it, and it kind of is told and it's solved and it condenses down and we go down certain timelines. But the beautiful energy of before we are anything, we are everything. Wow. Before we are anything, we are everything. And this is like but there's an energy that we have to be careful not to get lost in, which is being so focused on the goal itself. Because the goal itself, once it's reached, that's not the most magical part of the journey. And I think you guys know this. This could be loops you've been thinking about recently. The magic's in the here and now. You guys are someone who's holding on to so much magic in the here and now, because the magic is within you. Before you become anything, you are everything. And that everything phase is so beautiful. It's like the journey to becoming something is the most exciting part of the journey, because we get to live in all of those dream realities of all the different things it can be. Like, it's so exciting being in the unknown. It's so exciting beforehand, right? Like when everything's fresh, when everything's new, is the energy coming through. Like at the start of a film, we don't know what's to come for the rest of it. Is like, oh, like that energy. It's hard to describe in 3D words. It's hard to put a finger on it. So I hope I'm getting it across right. But yeah, it's like before we know, it's so amazing. And that's the energy that's coming through this card, is talking about all of those dreams, all of those possibilities, and tapping into that energy of limitlessness. You are limitless. And this is like if you have a soul tribe friend or someone you can speak to, this is like just getting lost in so many beautiful dreams and zoomed out energy, really far zoomed out, and coming out from the present moment to really reflecting on life as a whole, and just how, I was going to say important, but just how special it is, how special time is, how special this present moment is. Because the more we live, the less unknown there is. The more we live, the more we know, the more that becomes written in our story. And that's not a bad thing either, that's beautiful. But for me personally, I would say like quite a few years ago, I would get quite lost in like the future. We're always pulling the future towards us. But I would say over the past couple years, I've been on a process of really learning to ground in the present, finding the beauty in the now. And now it's like I'm so in the now, I almost don't want the future to come. I want the future to come, obviously, but it's like I don't want to lose this present moment because of how valuable and special everything is just right here and just right now. Right? That naivety that's in the here and now for all that is yet to happen, that slowly fades through time. That naivety, that innocence, that specialness, that dreaminess. So you guys are star power potential. And this is like you looking back on the past version of you, kind of thinking to your past self, wow, if only you knew like what you are going to become, because you guys are someone who has this Aquarius dream big energy, and I feel like you always tap into an energy that's bigger than yourself, a path, a dream, a purpose, an energy that is bigger than yourself. And that energy is the undefined energy that will slowly become more defined and more known and more seen the more that you walk your path. And I feel like this is your future self looking back in admiration to like, wow, all the things that they know, all the things that lived out and played out, that they're like, wow, that answered my past self. Like, this is how it was, this is how it played out. You know, and that energy of reflection of before everything plays out, that naivety, it's like, yeah. So that's the energy of this card that's coming through. Never lose that magic in you, you guys. It's inherently deeply within your soul and being. You naturally within just stretch your conscious awareness out. You naturally just have this inner curiosity and this inner wandering that your mind does. And that wandering really leads you to some beautiful places, to some beautiful daydreamy energies, to some beautiful spaces of excitement and hope, right? Like before Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, like before Christmas when you're a child and you're like, oh, what's he gonna put in my stocking? And it's like, we don't know what it is, but we know whatever it is, it's gonna be good, so we're excited. That's what this energy is. This is looking to the future and feeling like, I don't know what the future's gonna hold. There's just so much that could be possible. There's just so much that the angels have planned. But I know whatever is planned, whatever is destined for me, I know it's gonna be beautiful, because you have belief and faith, and you have this deeper connection to your future self. That is that feeling that you just know it's going to be something good, because you do know, because you've already lived the future. Time is not a thing in the astral space. So when you think about the future, you're also connecting to your future self, who is sending signals to you of the feelings of experiences that you'll experience in the future that are not tied to the knowledge of what it is. So you're someone who, when you start dreaming about the future, you may start tapping into these energies that feel really good, or just feel really like you can't put your finger on it, but you know that something amazing is going to take that space in that unknown. And that is you tapping into the feelings of what you've already experienced that you're still yet to experience in the future. You are connected to all versions of yourself, and you can energetically tap into all these versions. That is why it came through at the start of the reading, because you are somebody who is connected intuitively, emotionally, and energetically to past, present, and future versions of yourself. And you can almost tap into these different versions and gain deeper knowledge, awareness, and information about things. But I think one major aspect of this reading that's grown in you recently is this hope and excitement for the future. So you have many people absolutely enthralled watching you through your journey. Even if this is one close friend or one close family member, you guys, this person is someone who sees and feels the potential and the excitement and the hope for your future at the same level you do. And that is beautiful. So this is where I'm going to leave this reading, 1515. I love you all so much, and I will speak to you all in the next one. Mwah.